Hi again, it's Margaret, and I'm coming at you with a video that is so delicious. You're going to want to make this more than once. I created this just thinking about what are some things that I missed since I gave up meat. And Marsala, chicken Marsala was something I really loved, but there's something on the eye that's smoking. But I just, obviously don't have that anymore because I don't eat chicken or pork or beef. So I started thinking, what could I do? And I thought mushrooms Marsala. So I made this dish just one night as an experiment. And let me just tell you, I thought it was great. I watched my husband take a bite and his eyes rolled back in his head and I thought, yay, it's a good one. I also tested it on a couple of other friends and they thought it was delicious too. So this could be done with mushrooms. If you're not a mushroom eater, you could use zucchini, would be great. You could use yellow squash. You could use some other vegetable that is just, easy to work with. But I was going to say you could use potatoes, but then you wouldn't need the second part of my dish. Then I'm going to serve it over grits. Kind of like, if you've ever had shrimp and grits, that kind of a feeling. But mushroom Marsala over grits, and it's delicious. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to take some grits, just regular corn grits that can be delicious with any flavorings. They just adopt whatever flavoring you want them to have. Grits are so good, and these yellow corn grits, I think, have a very buttery flavor. Well, it's just the whole thing here. Perfect. And these cook pretty quickly, but I will tell you a trick to grits is to cook them in a milk or almond milk, coconut milk, versus a water. I just think it improves the flavor so much. This is like a bloopers video and I'm just getting started. I haven't made a video in like 2 weeks, and I apologize. We traveled a lot the past 2 weeks and I just was unable to get one in. I'm going to start with about 2 cups of almond milk. It's just on low heat, believe it or not. And I'm going to let that start heating up. I'm also going to add a little bit of garlic salt because I want the grits to have kind of their own lovely flavor, a little bit of depth to them. I'm also going to add some pink Himalayan salt. And that's probably it for the grits. I might finish it with a little bit of olive oil so it has like that rich, buttery type flavor. Okay, on to the mushrooms. I have some baby bellas that are already just kind of sliced. And then I also have some gorgeous mushrooms. I was looking for morels. I couldn't find those anywhere, and supposedly they grow in our area. So I just got some shiitakes because that was what was available. But you could do one kind. You don't have to have several kinds of mushrooms. Any kind will work. So in our skillet, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it on about 4 or 5. The key is Marsala wine. It is not expensive and it does keep well. It is a lovely flavor. I can't imagine drinking it, but it's delicious to cook with. I'm going to measure out about, let's start with a 1/2 cup. Okay, I'm going to do about 3/4 of a cup because I want to basically cover the bottom of the pan. This is going to be for 2, but we will probably have leftovers. I've got a little Marsala in there, and then I'm going to add this was about 1/2 cup of an onion. It's a sweet yellow onion. So it's not going to be heavy, it's not going to be too much. I also have some spinach that I'm just going to roughly dice because I like the green in it. And with the Marsala dish, it's a homey, delicious comfort food type feel to it. It's just delicious. So I'm just going to take some onions and add these spinach to it. As I said, if you're not a mushroom fan, you could totally use zucchini because you know how zucchini just becomes whatever you put with it. It's such a neutral based food, and it's very high in water content. It's got, great minerals and vitamins. So zucchini is just kind of the unfood. It becomes anything you want it to be, and I use zucchini a lot. especially if I just need to add bulk, texture, body, a little more, make a dish go further. You just found somebody else is coming to dinner. You can just really expand it. So it's just a great way to do that. Okay, with the shiitakes, I'm going to make them into strips. They honestly look like chicken almost. And with the stem, you just kind of cut till it, see, it won't really let you cut much further, so you can just throw that part away. Shiitakes are beautiful. They're not cheap. So just stick with white mushrooms or portobello mushrooms if you're on more of a budget. That's why I have much less shiitakes than portobellos, because it just doesn't make that much difference in the dish. They're both delicious, and mushrooms are a lot like zucchini. They become whatever flavor that you surround them with. So we have some of the shiitakes. I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. Just give that a stir around. We've got our grits, almond. That was an almond coconut milk, by the way. It is unsweetened. Make sure that you buy unsweetened if you're going for a non-dairy product, because that could get a little funky to have sweetened grits. Although my husband eats grits sweet. Ugh, he puts honey in them. I am a southern girl. I want my grits salty. I don't want them sweet. So, and I like grits. I mean, like, I love to take grits and add spinach to them or vegetables or whatever. It's just, they're so good. And they're not bad for you because, you know, it's corn and it can be gluten-free and you can make them dairy-free. So that's great to have that option. Okay, we're back and we're cooking. I've just let this cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to add some other flavors before I go with the mushrooms. Bragg's liquid aminos. This is great. It's an all-purpose seasoning. It's from a soy protein. It's a natural soy sauce alternative. This combined with this gives it the richest, most delicious flavor. I'm just going to add a little bit of those. It's pretty strong, but I've got a lot of mushrooms. Then I have some grill mates, which is a little bit of garlic chunks, a little bit of onion, a little bit of black pepper. And that's just a really nice, hearty flavor too. Then I have some turmeric because it is so good for you. It's great for your joints. It's for inflammation. It's great for all different things that can go wrong in your body. I always say if you can figure out a way to get turmeric in a dish, do it. It's very good for you. I have a little just black pepper. Just adds another depth of flavor. What I'm going to do is watch the liquid. I can add water. I can add more marsala because these are going to be like sponges. So I'm going to take my mushrooms, both the portobellos, baby bellas, and these. I am going to probably add a little bit of water just because I can. So the Marsala has a great flavor, and this way you're not cooking with fat still. Water can just substitute nicely. My almond and coconut milk has heated up nicely. I'm going to go ahead, pour my grits in. They're so pretty. And just give those a stir. These will start bubbling, and you kind of have to turn them down low. They only cook like 4 to 5 minutes. But they'll start bubbling and they can start popping on you, so keep a lid nearby. They're dangerous. They can be mean. So I'm just going to put them in, make sure I've got them stirred up a little bit. Turn it down to about low to medium and cover them. They're already starting to bubble. I'm going to cut them down a little bit more. And there's something about the richness of the Marsala along with the creaminess of the grits. I promise it would be great. So I'm going to taste it for salt and pepper and for the liquid aminos and for the Marsala. I just want to get it really all incorporated first. So let me just give it a little try. Don't want to burn my mouth off. I love this dish. I'm going to add a little more Marsala. That's so good. So I probably got a cup, which is great because it's kind of a gradual process. A little more Bragg's liquid amino. Remember, you don't need much salt when you add that. And maybe a little more pepper. And just let it cook on low. Once you've got it going and it's bubbling, I'm going to cut it down to low and hang out and wait for my grits. This is also a 30-minute dinner. I mean, you can have dinner in 30 minutes and your husband's going to think you've worked your fingers to the bones, or your significant other, or your boyfriend, or your girlfriend, or your wife, or your dog. I'm running out of ideas. So I'm going to give a close-up view and let you see what's going on while it camps out. Okay, with our grits, I added a half a cup of water and a splash more almond milk. Then I added a little bit of olive oil, a little more garlic salt, and a little more salt because I had diluted it more. And I'm just letting it, cook. It's on very low heat. You kind of got to keep stirring it so nothing sticks. You can just kind of taste it on occasion and make sure it's the flavor you want. I'm back. Due to technical difficulties with my camera, I am going to taste this in person with you with my phone, so sorry about that. I've got a little bit of the grits and a little bit of the mushrooms on a spoon. I promise, if you try this, you will love it. It is so creamy, and butter, I promise it tastes like I used butter in the grits, and all I did was maybe a teaspoon of olive oil, which you can omit if you want to be fat-free. And the Marsala mushrooms are delicious. They're rich, they taste gourmet. Another thing is, this is like a make-ahead meal. You can make this 2-3 hours ahead of time, let it just hang out on the stove, and then serve it later, and that way you're not cooking when your guests come or whatever, but they're going to think you work so hard all day long. And remember, if you're not a mushroom person, substitute for the zucchini or anything like that. It's just so good. But try it. You'll love it. It's delicious. It's nutritious. It's fat-free, basically with 1 teaspoon of olive oil. It's vegan. It's non-dairy. It's meat-free. So you can have a great meatless Monday with this recipe. So give it a try. I think you'll like it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And as always, make it a great day.